Deleted Dropbox surveillance footage. RNC is not happy about it. They filed a lawsuit against Detroit. And this one's wild because they asked for the footage. Then the government delayed giving them the footage. And then they said, oh, guess what? We waited too long to get you the footage. We've already overwritten it because we overwrite our data 30 days after the recording. Sorry, we don't have it. Not good enough. The RNC is suing now. And RNC chairman Michael Watley said, deleting Dropbox surveillance footage while there is a pending FOIA request, we're literally requesting it, is an assault on transparency. This breach of trust is exactly what reduces our confidence in this election. And so we are going to hold Detroit accountable. This secrecy has no place in fair and secure elections, and Michiganders deserve better. So they asked for the footage. We know that the government knows that they asked for the footage, and they deleted it anyways. Here's the lawsuit. RNC and Jonathan Koch suing the city of Detroit Department of Elections for deleting footage. Now, Michigan has a Freedom of Information Act. RNC, we know who they are. Koch is a citizen of Michigan. Detroit elections are what they sound like. So here's how this went down. So we'll reconstruct this timeline so you can see what a joke this is. On August 20th of this year, Koch submitted a FOIA request to the Department of Elections. So a citizen here says, I'd like to have the details, and I have a law called Michigan Freedom of Information Act that allows me to get it. He submitted the request on behalf of the RNC. Now, the request sought surveillance footage for August 7th and August 8th that was maintained by the Department of Elections in connection with the drop boxes for absentee ballots in this northwest part of Wayne County Community College located here. We want video footage, one location, 2 days, and August 7th and August 8th. We're presumably talking about primaries. We also want all records identifying the date of installation and the construction of that Dropbox on that date on August 8th. Now, Michigan law tells us what a public record is. And guess what? Public records must be disclosed. That's Michigan law. Law further defines public record as any writing or anything that's in possession of a public body. It also includes means of recording. And guess what that means? Surveillance. Video surveillance records are covered under the rules, and he requested them. Now, the Michigan History Center Act also provides a record is required to be kept by a public officer in memorial of the transaction and cannot be destroyed as provided by law. So if you request the video surveillance footage, it better be there. The city of Detroit follows the general schedules for disposal of evidence. Should they have deleted it? Pursuant to this general rule, video surveillance records documenting surveillance drop boxes for security purposes must be kept for 30 days after the record is created. 30 days, law. Must keep the videos for 30 days, specifically for drop boxes. Now, the video surveillance records sought by Koch on August 20th could not be deleted until September 6, 2024. September 6, 2024. He requested it August 20th. It was recorded earlier than that. So at the very latest, September 6th. Koch also requested all records identifying the date of installation. And pursuant to the deletion schedule, Dropbox collection records, including logs, ballot maintenance, security checklists, and ballot retrieval documentation, all must be held for 2 years. Okay, so the videos, 30 days. Everything else, 2 years. Now, the request was made and it was received on August 21st, 14 days after the video surveillance recording was made. 14 days. We still have time left. They shouldn't be deleting it. The law says, unless otherwise agreed to in writing by the person making the request, a public body, in this case, the elections, subject to subsection 10, they shall respond to a request within 5 days after they receive the request by doing one of the following. You send a letter in, they respond, grant it, issuing a written notice denying it, grant the request in part, deny in part, or you can issue an extension. So the elections people can come back and they can say, okay, 10 days, and you shall respond to the request within the 10 days. That's the law, MCL 15.232, subsection 2. A public body shall not issue more than one notice of extension for a particular request. So if you need 10 more days, all right, you get them. So he sends it in on August 14th. They get it on August 21st, 14 days after the fact. On August 24th, then, Koch receives a letter from the city of Detroit indicating it was extending the response deadline by 10 additional business days in accordance with MCL, the law, and that Koch would receive a response to his request on or before September 12th, right? Now we're starting to get past that 30-day deadline because they wanted the recordings from early August. So then on September 16th, Koch received an electronic response on September 16th, over 30 days, to his request from the city of Detroit indicating, guess what? The video is no longer available after 30 days, and the videos have been recorded over. Oh, no. Wait a minute. You extended it and then deleted it because you extended it past the 30 days, even though you had notice that they wanted the video? Specifically, the response indicated that the video surveillance records were recorded over 30 days. Recorded over after 30 days, right? So they used the same tapes. Despite Koch's request having been received 14 days after the record was created and 16 days before the records could be deleted, they deleted it anyways. Attached to the September 16th response was a denial letter indicating, sorry, your FOIA request was sent to elections, and that request was denied because based on reasons from the Department of Elections, the Department of Elections does not possess any record that corresponds to the description in your request. Deleted and denied. Followed the rules exactly right. The government said, we're going to need 10 more days, then postponed it and deleted it and then denied it. Total scam. Now, here's what they're saying. Okay, they incorporate, Koch made a FOIA request demanding the records. They got it on August 21st. He did not receive a response until September 16th, which is 26 days after his request was received. Once a request for disclosure is received, a public body must maintain the record until its final determination about its disclosure. They didn't do that. And FOIA requires that the public body shall protect public records from destruction. They didn't do that. They deleted it. The Department of Elections has violated FOIA. They deleted the video after they got our request, and they deleted it well before the date on which they were legally permitted to destroy the records. Why did the Department of Elections destroy the Dropbox records? Why? The Department of Elections has acted arbitrarily and capriciously. They delayed their response until 26 days after the request was received and until after the records had been deleted. And by deleting the records that we'd already requested more than 2 weeks earlier, they willfully and they intentionally failed to comply with FOIA. They acted in bad faith. And so he deserves money. And he does. They also violated the Freedom of Information Act of Michigan. Koch's request was denied for the reason that they don't have any records. They should. Public records are not exempt from disclosures. And they have violated FOIA by failing to produce anything they prepared about the other thing, right? It's not just about the video surveillance. It's also about the installation records. They should have the date of installation and the construction of this Dropbox. Similarly, they want a writ of mandamus to force them to stop doing this. This is appropriate. We have a clear legal right to these records, including video footage and retention of those records. They need to maintain. The Department of Elections has a clear legal duty to retain these things and give it to us after a FOIA. Plaintiff does not possess any other legal or equitable remedy to get these, so we need an order from you. Here, Justice requires that the Department of Elections abide by FOIA. We have no other remedies. The election is already underway. There's a real and imminent and irreparable injury that more video surveillance records of drop boxes will be destroyed. We'll request them. They'll destroy them anyways. So issue a writ of mandamus, forcing them to retain these records and prohibit them from deleting the video surveillance footage. And also issue an order saying that they acted arbitrarily and capriciously. They violated FOIA. Make them pay a $1,000 fine. Make them pay punitive damages of $1,000. Make them pay civil fines because they acted willfully and intentionally, and they failed to give us these records. Fine them between $2,500 and $7,500, and find that they refuse to produce the materials, and make them give it to us. Compel the disclosure of all the non-exempt materials and give us our attorney's fees. Signed by Jonathan Louderback, Troy Cummings, Catherine Boothroyd in the House from Detroit, Michigan. WNJ.com legal team. Warner, Norcross, and Judd. Man, and they have a three-letter domain. Pretty awesome. All right, so good stuff over there. And you can see the rest of this looks like it was the rejection letter. So here's what the useless Fulton County folks are doing. And here we go. Jonathan Koch sends a letter, surveillance footage. This is what we want. That was the request. Let's see. Here's the denial. This letter serves as notice. I think this is the extension letter. Yeah. We need 10 additional days. Therefore, we'll respond by September 12th. And then, of course, looks like we're going to get the rejection. Here's the FOIA response from the city of Detroit. Here it comes from Ivers, as a lawyer. Ivers Stein Esquire. He, him, his. Ivers. He, him, his. Good. Please find the response letter to your request there, Jonathan. This response is being set electronically. I was informed that video is no longer available after 30 days and is recorded over. Oh, no. Please let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for your patience with this matter. No, not thanks. And they also sent it over to the Department of Elections, and they say the same thing. The lawyer is responding, and here's some other orders. All right, surprise. The city of Detroit deleting Dropbox footage of ballots being collected. Interesting. Now, we'll, of course, see where the lawsuit goes, but what else are they deleting? What else are they retaining? And where else is this corruption popping up? Glad to see the RNC is digging into this. We'll keep covering it. Thanks for subscribing and joining as we do. All right.